Hello guys, and welcome back to another video with me, Griffiths, and today we'll be ranking from 20 up to 1 of who we think will get relegated, I think will get relegated, and who will get Champions League, Europa League, and Premier League title, and etc. Obviously, this is the Premier League predictions, I should have just said that. We all know how it goes. Let's get straight into it. I didn't actually do reactions to last year, but just a brief one. I predicted Arsenal's failure. I predicted Chelsea winning the title. That's probably about it. Yeah, I didn't do very well. But this year, hopefully do well. Very interesting season coming up, so let's predict it with the Barclays Premier League. Is it Barclays anymore? Is it Barclays anymore? Is it? I don't know if it's just Premier League. Let's do Premier League predictions 2017/18. So in at 20, we've got the team who, as recording this yesterday, has just lost Andre Gray to Watford. It is Burnley. Burnley. Yeah, they had a good season last season, surprisingly. This season, I don't think they're going to have another good season. It's just I don't think they're that good. Last season they were good, and this season they've lost their key striker Andre Gray. They had some good players. They had likes of Barnes, Vokes, but this year haven't made any marquee transfers, marquee buys. Made some marquee sales, which isn't good. So I think Burnley will come rock bottom with this at 20th place. 19th place is a new what was that? Is a 19th place team. It is the newly promoted Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield Town. They've made a good deal in the transfer window. When I do the transfer window ups and downs, then you'll see on the scale of that how good their transfer window was. But I just don't think they had a good enough squad to begin with. I think it'll be close. I think Burnley will do really bad and be 20 points away from safety or anything. And Huddersfield will come in and they'll be close to surviving relegation, but I don't think, and I think they'll go straight back down. It's going to be really close between them, 18th and 17th. I think it's going to be, and maybe even 16th as well. I kind of have a very interesting relegation battle this year that's going to be good. I think Huddersfield are going to get some surprise results against some of the big teams, as are 18th, as are 17th, and as are 16th. I just feel Huddersfield, it's their time to come into the Premier League, but I don't think they'll do very well. I think they'll go straight back down. Talking about 18th, which would be another promoted team, it is the South Boys of Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton and Hove Albion is not really that strong of a team. They've got some good players. They got them promoted to the Premier League last year, but there's the borderline of if they're Championship players or if they're Premier League players. And I think Anthony Knockaert was Brighton's best player last year, and I think this year in the Premier League, do you think maybe he's in my dream team, fantasy team, I don't know what you want to call it, but he was there in the dream team. Whether he'll have a good season this season, I don't know, but I think it's going to be very close, as I said, between Huddersfield and the two teams above Brighton who just survived relegation, but it's going to be tough. It is really going to be tough. So I've got Brighton in 18th to get relegated with Huddersfield and Burnley. Number 17, I have a team. Well, I actually made a few changes to this, but I drafted this table a couple days ago, so I haven't considered the Andre Gray deal. I put Burnley in 20th before the Andre Gray deal, and Watford at 17th. I'm gonna keep Watford 17th because even though they got Andre Gray with their record fee, and Deeney, of course, I think that's not going to be enough to get them anywhere mid-table. Marcus Silva's a great manager, no denying that. But do I think they'll hire them their mid-table or higher? No. I think expectations, maybe high expectations, lower mid-table. But if Watford, I just don't think Watford are going to do well this season. I think they'll get a surprise result here and there, like Man United last season. But Watford, I think, are not that equipped with the other against the other teams in the league. So I'm going to go with Watford in 17th place. 16th, and this is like the borderline of the teams that are going to be in a proper relegation scrap. It is Swansea City. They've loaned in Tammy Abraham, which is good. I think that's really going to help them. If they keep hold of Sigurdsson and keep hold of Llorente, I think they'll be higher. Now, this is the thing with all this list. I'm basing this off certain deals I think could go through. And I think Sigurdsson will leave, and I think he'll go to Everton. So I think that if Sigurdsson leaves, then Swansea will be 16th, like I've said. But if Sigurdsson stays, I think they'll be probably higher, maybe even mid-table. So that is promising for Swansea fans. But Gylfi Sigurdsson, if he's a key player for Swansea, and if they lose him, then it's going to be a tough season for them. They got Llorente, they got Leroy Fer, they got Keating Young, they've got the new signing lonely Tammy Abraham. I think it's good, all-right transfer window for Swansea, enough to keep them up in the Premier League. Number 15 is the last newly promoted team in Newcastle United. I got them in 15 because they won the championship last year, and logic dictates if they win the championship, they're going to be the best of the newly promoted teams. That has certainly nearly kind of proven that in the past. So I think with Newcastle, they've got some good players. They've got Dwight Gale, who I think can get a lot of goals, maybe 10 or slightly more this year. They've got some good defenders. They've got a good squad. I think they'll stay up. I think they'll be one of them teams who plays really exciting football and always gets 3-alls, 4-3 matches. I think it'll be really exciting to watch, but I just don't think they will be any higher than 15th in the league on the basis of their quality that they've got in their squad. They have good quality, the best of the top 3, they got promoted, but I think they'll be the highest of the top 3, but they'll still be in 15th. In 14th, I predicted West Brom to get relegated last year, and West Brom is 14th on this list. Last year I predicted relegation. This year I think they'll be lower mid-table. I don't think they'll be fighting for any Europa League places. I don't think they'll be fighting for any relegation battles. I think they'll be solid in the 14th spot. I think they've got Rondon, Phillips, Chadley. They've got some good players that are good enough to get them not in a relegation battle, but I don't think they have good enough players to get them to a Europa League spot. So that's why I've got West Brom Albion in 14th place. 13th place then is a team who are probably the most boring team. They're never involved with Champions League, Europa League or relegation. It's Stoke City. And I predicted them to become 13th in another boring season for them. They've lost Marko Naujovic, so that's why I've kind of got Stoke a bit lower down on this list. They got Shaqiri. I think they might have. They've loaned Bojan. I don't know if they've got him back. They got Peter Crouch, who's the best striker in the whole entire universe. But Stoke City, I think, are slowly going to go down. This could be the season where Mark Hughes is kind of a bit on edge at Stoke, and I think he might leave or get sacked. But I think Stoke City are 13th on this list. 12th now, I'm wrapping through these, and it is Crystal Palace. I've got Palace at 12. This was kind of hard, because now we've kind of got to the borderline of good teams, and I feel they've got Benteke, and Benteke can carry them to mid-table this year. He really can. It's good. I think the top 7 are really going to be switching around a lot this year, because they've all got good quality. Benteke, they've got Zaha, who if he performs, who they can really challenge for Europa League, I think. They've got Frank de Boer as their new manager, which I think is a great pick-up for Crystal Palace. Good defenders, so I think if certain players perform like Benteke and Wilfried Zaha, then Crystal Palace will be around 12th. I'm not too sure on that one, but I think it's going to be around 12th. Number 11 is the team that always seems to progress. Every season they get better. This is the one season I think they won't do as well as last year, but still do very good. It's AFC Bournemouth. Josh King, Jermaine Defoe, that's a good partnership. They've also got Callum Wilson, don't forget, who keeps getting injured if he stays at Bournemouth. So they've got a really good attacking line there. They got a phobia well if people get injured. Defence is alright. Cook, Daniels. Midfield maybe a bit of work. But I think, and they got Begovic, who is an alright keeper for Bournemouth, I reckon. So I don't think they'll be up in mid-table. They'll just be in 11th. They put on some good matches, put on some entertaining football like they did last year, but I don't think Josh King's going to have a good enough season like he did last year, and Defoe. I think they'll get a couple goals, but not as many as people are hoping. I think Bournemouth are in 11th place. Number 10, I've got Southampton. Again, it's a bit like Bournemouth. I think they'll put in some good results, but none of their players are outstanding. I think Southampton could be lower mid-table if they lose Van Dijk and if they lose Ryan Bertrand and all them players. They've got Malo Gabbiadini, who was good last year. They've got some good players that I think if they keep them, then they won't be involved in a relegation scrap or low mid-table. I think Southampton at 10th is a solid mid-table position, and sorry Southampton fans, but I feel that if you lose players, it's going to be a tough season, but I don't think you'll actually lose. You'll probably lose Van Dijk to Liverpool or another team, I don't know where, but I think it's going to be a solid season for Southampton. With a new manager, it's going to be entertaining, but I don't think they'll be too high, and I think they'll go 10th. Number 9 then is the former winners of the Barclays Premier League, is Leicester City. I've been impressed with Leicester's transfer window. They brought in Abora from the La Liga. I think he's a really good player for Leicester. Bringing Kelciniacho on an actual transfer, not a loan deal, is a fantastic thing. And they've got Mahrez if he stays and doesn't go to Roma. Vardy, of course, who can hit in a few goals. So I think Leicester are going to do really well this season. As I said, between Palace, Bournemouth, Southampton, Leicester, and the other 2 or 3 teams that I've got above them, I think they'll change through a lot. But I think at the end of the day, 9th will be. I think Leicester will play really good football. I think 9th will not sum up their season. I think they're more around a 6th place team. But all the teams I think above them will play better seasons. Obviously, I think they'll just scrape through. But I think it's going to be really close. They could fight for Europa League, and I think if all of them stay fit, they do have a real good chance of competing this year. So I've got Leicester City in 9th place. 8th place, I've got a very solid team. A team who's done wonders in the transfer window is West Ham United. Last year I ranked them quite high because of like Payet and Lanzini. They've still got Lanzini, of course, got rid of Payet this year. So I feel, and they've got in 2 marquee players in Chicharito, who I don't want to say carry, but he'll do wonders at West Ham, no doubt about that. Probably one of the best transfers of the season. That's my early prediction. And we've got Marko Arnautovic, of course, Marko Arnautovic at West Ham as well. Him and Chicharito assisting in goals. That is going to be good. And I think West Ham real competition this season. They'll probably do well in the FA Cup and the League Cup as well. They've got around good squad depth. But I think they'll just miss out in Europa League by like a point or even some goal difference. And I think they'll stay in 8th. 7th place, I've got probably one of the only teams to do better, I think, in the transfer window than West Ham United, and that's Everton. If they get Sigurdsson, then there's no doubt that they can be fighting for a Champions League spot. No doubt. They had a great transfer window. They've got a good manager in Ronald Koeman. Sigurdsson, they could bring in Rooney, they brought in Sandro Ramirez, Michael Keane, Jordan Pickford, all them transfers, and of course Klasan, who is a bit controversial, but he's still a very good player. I feel Everton have done a wonderful transfer window, and I think they'll stay in 7th place on this list. It's tough because the top 6, I think, are all going to have good seasons, and Everton will just miss out. As I said, the top of this table will be really close in terms of points. I don't think there's going to be that many runaways, apart from that one runaway, which I'll get to in a minute. 6th place then, this is where it gets tough because we have to rank the top 6, and at the moment, I've ranked Chelsea in 6th place. Now last year I was very impressed that I got Chelsea to win the Premier League. This year I think they'll go back similar to what they were in the Leicester City title-winning season, where they were not as good as they were. Mainly they don't have squad depth. Champions League, Community Shield against Arsenal, they lost. Conte is still a good manager, but Kante, it's still going to be a class player. They've missed Hazard until September. Costa's leaving. Morata, didn't look very good in the Community Shield, if I'm honest. Is he a necessary good fit for Chelsea? I don't know. We'll see in the up and downs video when they come out of the transfer window. But I think Chelsea just don't have enough squad depth to really push for a Champions League spot. It'll be close, but I think they'll miss out and come 6th. And I don't think Conte will leave. I don't think Conte will be sacked. But obviously because he won the title last year. But he should get Chelsea into Champions League, but with the squad depth they've got, I don't think so. Number 5 is controversial one, Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of people saying Tottenham Hotspur are doomed because they're playing at Wembley. I don't think an arena is going to make many difference there. I think it's just the publicity in the press saying this to Tottenham that, oh, you're going to fail because you're at Wembley. I think that's getting in their heads. I think first couple of games Wembley, maybe draws, maybe a 1 loss or 2, but then they'll get into the rhythm, they'll start winning games. I don't think they'll get Champions League. As I said, again, it's going to be almighty close this year between all the teams, I think. This could be the one season where 1st and 20th have the smallest points gap in any Premier League season. But because I think this is a solid season. So Tottenham haven't made any transfers at all. They've lost Kyle Walker. Trippier's injured, so they don't really have a right back. They need to sign someone before the Premier League starts in a couple of days. I don't think they will. They need to sign someone before the window shuts. Otherwise, I think they'll be in 5th. And I don't think they'll get Thomas Lemar, which they're linked to. They'll probably get a few smaller players, but I don't think they'll be good enough to get Tottenham to a Champions League space. Number 4, then we got Champions League coming up, and literally I can put these top 3 in any order, because I think they're really solid. But I've got Liverpool at 4th. It looks like Coutinho's going out the door for Liverpool, which I'm not going to put him in 6th or 7th for that, because he is a good player, but they've got Mo Salah, they've got Solanke, they've got Sturridge, if I say that he's fit, Firmino, Mane, they've got Henderson, they've got a really good squad, and made some great transfers. If Coutinho leaves, then it's going to be a shame, but I think Liverpool are just going to creep into that Champions League spot. But as I said, it's going to be close between it's going to be close between all the teams, but Liverpool will scrape into 4th, both ahead of 5th and below 3rd. Number 3 is Manchester United. We had some good transfers last year, and then we came 6th, 7th, 6th. Yeah, it was 6th. We came 6th last year. It wasn't that good, was it? But we won the Europa League and the EFL Cup, which are still good. I think we had an alright season, wasn't the best. This year we'll get solid Champions League without having to win the Europa League or Champions League. I feel we'll do alright in the Champions League. I think we'll obviously get through the group stage, hopefully. We won't do as well in the FA Cup and the EFL Cup. But I feel it's all about league this year. Lukaku, I think, could be the top scorer this year. But I don't think that's going to be enough. We need more goals from everywhere else around the field. If we get Ivan Perisic, I don't think we'll do very well. I think keeping Martial's the better choice and the better for Manchester United in the short term and the long term. But I think we've got Man United in 3rd place, just because I just don't think they'll get it done. In 2nd place, then, it is Arsenal. Wonderful transfer window. They've got in Kolasinac, who scored the equaliser in the Community Shield. Lacazette looks really good for Arsenal this year. He could really do wonders, and I think this is the season that Arsenal really push. They're going 2nd in the Leicester City title winning season, and they're coming 2nd this year as well. I think they'll be closer yet again, but be between Man United and that's my phone, and Liverpool. So I feel that Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, it's going to be close between them, but Arsenal are going to get second, probably on the final day like they did in the Leicester City winning season. So Arsenal second and first. I haven't seen a Premier League predictions video yet, and I've watched about 10 to 12 or to 15 Premier League predictions. Not one has not put Manchester City top of the table, and I'm joining the herd. I'm putting Manchester City top, basically because if Man City don't win the Premier League title with with this squad, then with Guardiola, I mean, they've got an incredible squad now. There's so much squad depth. Man City haven't had that many players that have been fit. They have a lot, and if Company stays fit, I think Man City can win the league. Now, the only reason I think that Man City and Burnley, who are polar opposites of the table, I think the only reason, if they don't have the smallest points gap, I think Man City will be winning the title by 7, maybe even 10 points, and Burnley will get relegated by about 7-10 points as well. So I think Burnley's going to be rock bottom 20th, and Man City will be rock top at first, because I just feel Man City have the better squad over everyone. They've got so much, and if everyone stays fit, I mean, who else would have a problem with playing Aguero or Gabriel Jesus? I mean, if put Aguero in any other team, he'd play, wouldn't he? So I think at the end of the day, Manchester City have got to win the Premier League. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon if Man City don't win, then Guardiola's out the door. I don't think that's the case. Everyone's saying this is Guardiola's last chance to win something at Man City. I think he's got to this season. He's absolutely got to. And if injuries are kind to Man City, then Manchester City will win the Barclays Premier League. That is the Barclays Premier League 2017 to 2018 predictions. I hope you've enjoyed. I certainly have. Leave your opinions in the comments below. Of course, do the like, share, and subscribe. I will do tomorrow, I think, if I'm bothered enough, which I probably will be, to do predictions. Yep, a bloody triple header of videos. It's crazy. So I'll probably do predictions for like the weekend's games, maybe with someone else, I don't know yet. So my Premier League predictions are there. Leave your comments, as I've said, like, share, subscribe, and I will see ya, bye.